This is the drama show on Phonic FM. You're listening to a collection of bits and pieces from previously. Some of it last week, some of it's from video you can also find online on YouTube. And meanwhile, Will789GB on Twitter will be at the Tech Exeter breakfast. And I should be back before 9:30 with an update. Maybe some of the update will relate to previously.
3 years ago,
I'm adding a bit of theory. I've found a keynote by Peggy Deaver, which I think is very relevant. It expands on what the role of architecture is, and I think it could relate to radio or sound or centres of education within a city. I like the idea of buildings as a setting for a scenario, because one of the radio shows I work on is a drama show, and I'm still trying to find out what that is about, more or less. Mainly I work on chat and music shows, We Don't Know and The World Show, and here are some clips from what's been happening during the lockdown, starting with Zoom and then gradually meeting in the open air.
Technology, it's good. So I can now say to you, look.
My goodness, look at that.
I'm in the studio.
Now that is a studio. Right, so JD, just talk a little bit, because that looks to be a mixer. And
it is a mixer, yes.
So these things are very important.
Yes, if you want a cocktail made, you need a mixer.
Yes.
Here's one for you.
Yes. Oh, right.
This is Access All Aerials is mixer.
Right.
It's a very high tech. So we've got a few buttons. If I move to one side.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right.
You can see a bit more of it, you see?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Very high tech.
So that's what they've got at the moment. That's what they've got.
Yeah.
When was that taken?
About 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's very impressive. That is all good.
It's when I had an iPad.
Right. So all these things, if we'd got an iPad, we could get all these special effects just like that. So JT, if we were just moving about Exeter with a suitcase and a trolley, what sort of kit do you think we could take with us that would allow us to record things or broadcast?
A thing called a mobile phone. Do you know what that is?
A mobile phone?
A mobile phone would do the whole thing.
And what's JD?
Well, he's testing out his own iPhone.
Yeah,
He'll probably have his own version of this occasion.
I've got the evidence.
Yeah.
You've got the evidence.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen JD since he lost his phone on the roof of his car.
Yeah, he has lost one iPhone, but he's mysteriously managed to get another one as well.
Yeah, because he got a robust case on now, so if it falls off the top of his car,
should be all right.
Yeah.
So JT, listen,
yes,
you can keep your own recording of this as well.
Yes, I can.
Because we may need to back up the soundtrack. You never know.
Okay.
But what I want to ask you is,
yes,
you seem to be taking it quite seriously, this idea of a studio, a
yes,
mobile studio, or
yes,
a temporary studio. You think it could be a permanent thing?
It not necessarily has to be a studio. It could just be a place to go and work.
Right.
So we can, if we've had enough of Chris, we send him off, and he can do a program and send it in to us. Then we have a very quiet Thursday morning.
Oh, right.
Right?
Right.
So, or if you need to put things together for a program, you've got a place to do it with very high technical equipment, shall we say.
Right.
Because at the moment, all we've got is this board over here.
Yeah.
and his phone.
And his phone. Yes. He's getting lost in his phone as well now.
This is a third recording of this conversation. So a third recording will work great.
A lot of what I've been trying to do over the all too many years when I've been writing about space is to bring space alive, to dynamise it and to make it relevant, to emphasise how important space is in the lives in which we live and in the organisation of the societies in which we live. Most obviously, I would say, space is not a flat surface across which we walk. Raymond Williams talked about this. You're taking a train across the landscape. You're not travelling across a dead, flat surface that is space. You're cutting across a myriad of stories going on. So instead of space being this flat surface, It's like a pincushion of a million stories. If you stop at any point in that walk, there will be a house with a story. Raymond Williams spoke about looking out of the train window and there was this woman clearing the grate. And he speeds on, and forever in his mind, she's stuck in that moment. But actually, of course, that woman is in the middle of doing something. It's a story. Maybe she's going away tomorrow to see her sister, but really, before she goes, she really must clean that grate out because she's been meaning to do it for ages. So I want to see space as a cut through the myriad stories in which we are all living at any one moment. Space and time become intimately connected.
If space isn't just an empty stage that's somehow inhabited, it's imbued with all kinds of stories and memories and events, how can you study it?
And there's a million ways to answer that, but I think one way is to say that it raises some of the most acute questions. If time is the dimension in which things happen one after the other, it's the dimension of succession, then space is the dimension of things existing at the same time, of simultaneity. It's the dimension of multiplicity.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much flat from the street, isn't it?
Yeah. So the access is very good, and I'll test the QR code.
So, going off slightly at a tangent, but it makes sense to us. We're from Phonic FM, a wild show, which is on at the moment, but Joe D is taking care of the studio. We came over to the Access All Aerial studio, which is in the chalet just opposite you. There's an electricity problem at the moment, but we'll see how that works out. But what occurred to us is that people from here, from the Climate Hub, might visit them and be interviewed because their microphones are good, their recording is good. When they've got electricity, they've got a direct broadcast facility, but it can be recorded for future use. So I just wondered what you'd thought already about recording meetings or discussions that happen in this space, and whether you're going to try and make it available through social media or whatever mechanism.
Be very happy. Every workshop and things like that we do here, we would be happy to ask that question. Obviously all participants would need to be happy with it, but I can't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Let's get on, shall we? So when we hit the connect button here, that will put us out live on the World Wide Web.
Yeah. And
go out to all of our other streaming services.
Last time I had to hook up to your Bluetooth.
You can hook up to the Bluetooth, absolutely.
Which one is it?
Well, I'll put it on and make it active, and it will come up as a Rodecaster Pro.
Rodecaster Pro.
I'll make sure that I'm not connected to it, which I'm not, so that's good. Have you got it?
Rodecaster Pro, yeah.
Brilliant.
It's too far to walk, yeah.
They talk about artisans and nomads. These are types of student. Now,
right. I'm learning something here.
You may do. You may do if I get it right. Well, this is how I'm just going to explain it.
Right, go on then.
So, this is all at Aarhus University, which is in Denmark. So they've got different sorts of student, but they're all sort of design orientated. Mm-hmm. So the nomads, as they describe them, are digital media students. Mm-hmm. And they don't have resource as in a studio. But the architecture students, they do have a bit more resource, so they have somewhere to put their charts and models.
Perhaps you explain resource in studio, because that's quite complicated.
Well, if you haven't got a studio, you're more a nomad.
Right.
So you wander about.
Is it a radio studio or
No.
studio?
Well, it's you could think about it as a radio studio.
Right. I'm trying to get my brain around it.
Yes.
Listening.
Yes. Well, I think it's more like a digital communication course.
Right.
So who knows what they'll end up doing?
Right.
I mean, we've already established that radio includes social media, bits of YouTube, podcasting, all sorts of things sort of come off the radio as we've thought of it.
Right, it's bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces.
Right, I've got it now.
The impression I get is that the architecture course, maybe it's better funded or has been going for longer, or maybe they need their diagrams. They need lots of physical resources.
Right.
Whereas it's thought the digital media students don't need that so much. So if they've just gone off for a coffee somewhere,
yes,
or they've managed to find a corner of the library they can perch their laptop, that's all right for them. So they're regarded more as nomads rather than artisans. The artisans are people who do a sort of apprenticeship or study various techniques, and the impression I get from the article is that because the artisans live in a studio, they talk to each other more, and they get more formal instruction, whereas the nomads have to work it out for themselves, or
so
they.
My picture in my brain is is I'm listening to two machines talking to each other.
Yes.
And one, and that's pretty good because that's how you can do radio now. We don't have to be in the studio.
No,
So
we don't.
We don't have to be in the studio. We can do a recording. We could do anything.
Well, that's
that's the beauty of trying to convince somebody there is somebody in the studio.
Well, they can take it from me. There are two people in the studio at the moment, but there might not be.
No,
we could be both at home.
No,
and we could have just
I'm
phoned
down the coffee shop.
We could have just phoned it in. Yes, you could be phoning from the coffee shop. I could be in another coffee shop.
Yes, that's right. We could be talking to each other,
and nobody would know.
Yeah.
But the
technology is good now.
Well, it is good
because you could be the other side of the world, having on a beach somewhere.
Yes.
And you say, no, I'm not really. I'm just downtown.
Yeah, I could convince you of that.
Yes, that's right.
And the listeners won't know. But the question is, what are we learning and how are we learning, JD?
How we learn?
If you were stuck at home, as you might have been during the lockdown.
Yes.
And you got out your trusty laptop and your microphone,
yes,
and your cassette recorder and all your other bits and pieces, and you cabled them all together.
Yes.
Did that make you more of an artisan, or who were you learning from?
We've been creative, I think, in a situation that is not our fault.
It's not our fault.
Not our fault.
No, it's certainly not our fault.
It's not our fault. So we as professional recording people.
Now you claim to be a professional.
I'm a total professional.
So when did this happen? Did it happen because you were in a studio?
No, it was born on the day I was born.
Oh, you were born a professional.
Yes, I was a professional from when I was born.
Oh, well, that's that. You're a one-off then.
I think everybody's a professional.
There's not enough time on a video like this to fit in much about student accommodation, online learning, and comparing what's going on with sound, music, radio and social media with what's going on with education. But it's something to come back to on a future video. Another thing that happened during the lockdown or during recent years was a parent move online for education. At one point, edX was worth 800 million for 2U, but recently everything seems to be back to normal. Class Central have pointed out that 2U is now worth less than what was paid for edX. So it's very hard to make any sense really of what is regarded as normal. It's quite possible there will be another cyber crash similar to 2000 and we don't know where that's going to go. The other thing at the moment is that DAB is about to happen in Exeter, but not sure when it's going to firmly arrive. So Phonic FM and Accessible Aerials will be on DAB fairly soon. For Accessible Aerials, that's sort of going back to broadcast. They've been online most of the time. So some sort of hybrid radio is going to exist. Not quite clear how that's going to happen in detail. Probably something similar will happen with education. It's going to be some sort of hybrid. There will be more platforms, even if they're not in the UK. So this will become clear later on. CD Walk starts near John Lewis in Exeter, where MVC used to be, Music and Video Club, and then it sort of heads into the high street. Boots used to sell vinyl quite a long time ago. I bought some Bobby Womack there. That's the first time I've found that. Where you go exactly in the high street is up to you. Starbucks used to be our price, and there's HMV, that's in Princess Hay. The question is how much space is still needed for retail of music. Virgin used to be where HMV is also. So moving down towards Gandhi Street, you go past Acosta, and Martian Records used to be at the other end, and there's the Ram, and Harlequins is a shopping mall about to be demolished for student accommodation. So there is a question, how much student accommodation is still needed if retail and music are going? WH Smith, they used to have a lot of CDs, and this is where Opus Classical used to be. They still have a website. Wilco used to be Woolworths, and this is where HMV once was. And going down the hill into 4th Street, Rooster Records, still selling vinyl, and just a few CDs. There's the rest of 4th Street.
This is Phonic FM.
Grago to Gragata. ina uba, ina uba, eba ina uba, ina uba, kibole na uba, ina uba, eba ina uba.
So, JD, where are we?
In Exeter.
In Exeter?
Yes, right in the centre of a very beautiful place called Princess Hay.
And it's about 1 o'clock
yes,
on
about
a Wednesday.
1 o'clock GMT time.
And we thought possibly something unexpected might happen.
Yes. I'm looking to the skies.
Yes.
I'm looking to the ground.
Yes.
And I'm looking through something flying through the air. So we haven't quite found out what we're waiting for. So
no. But so we can report that nothing unexpected has happened so far.
No, it looks pretty normal. I can see. I'm looking around now, and I can see some. Yes, I can see lots of people.
Yes.
I see nothing around here which actually looks abnormal to the situation.
No. But we may continue our inquiries.
Yep.
There may be something unexpected that is happening. There certainly is something unexpected going to happen on Friday evening at the Quay.
Right, so that's the connection, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's what we're looking for. So it may not happen because in the light of the situation in Exeter in the last few days, it could be postponed, you never know, or it may, we'll just have to wait and see.
Right. But at least we've explored the situation as of about 1 o'clock on Wednesday.
Right, no, that's right. A lot of coffee shops around here.
There are a lot of coffee shops.
Yeah, and a lot of birds flying.
So we might stay a little longer.
Yes, we'll just hang about, and if we see anything else, we'll report back to you.
So, JD, the only last thing I want to check with you is that Creative Commons can apply to this clip. I can load it to YouTube.
Yes, you can.
With your full permission.
Yes.
As Creative Commons.
Yes.
And your image rights will not be infringed in any way.
It probably will be. It'll probably burn up in flame, but doesn't make any difference. Yes, that's okay.
Okay, well that is fine. So thank you very, very much.
Okay.
This is the drama show on Phonic FM. You're listening to a collection of bits and pieces from previously. Some of it last week, some of it's from video you can also find online on YouTube. And meanwhile, Will789GB on Twitter will be at the Tech Exeter breakfast. And I should be back before 9:30 with an update. Maybe some of the update will relate to previously. That's Climate Change, David Sawyer. And now I'm going to play a track by Cole Stacey. He's going to be at the HMV this Saturday, I think at 12 o'clock. But you could check, if you're near HMV on Saturday, check the time. Usually it's at 1 o'clock, but this one's advertised for 12 o'clock, so it probably is 12 o'clock. It's interesting to me what goes on at HMV, just making it more of a performance space, and that's definitely one of the locations across the walk that I'd be doing from the studio towards the Innovation Hub and back again. So maybe next week I'll have some sort of sound connected to HMV, or possibly 12 Bars, which is the coffee and music, another music retail space. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, but I'm looking for bits of sound that connect in with the idea of walking in a 15-minute space, or at least 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back, and half an hour somewhere else. So this is Cole Stacey, a track called All We Are.
Under floods that are deepest, over hundreds of days, oh, we'll find our way through rocks that are steepest, over mountains and waves, oh, we'll find our way. When there's nothing to keep us, no hiding place, oh, we'll find our way. All we are is only love. All we are is only love, and it's only from the heart you can touch the sky. It's all we are. When there's thousands around us and so little space, oh, we'll find our way. When the gods are upon us and the cowards obey, oh, we'll find our way. When it's easy to lose sight, harder to stay on, oh, we'll find our way. All we are is only love. All we are is only love, and it's only from the heart you can touch the sky. It's all we are. It up to get it all back. Not the first, won't be the last. To turn in circles and turn your back, but to give it all up is to get it all back. All we are is all we love.